Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good? Honestly, man, Phantom's End is getting pretty good. I think a lot of what I have already expected to pop off is going to be kind of underwhelming. Um, Unfortunately for me, this show definitely is pushing forward the narrative that the main character can improve and probably will need both of these characters that he's trying to push forward with to probably bite the dust or at least for one thing get really close to doing so for him to push past his boundaries and whatnot. Unfortunately, that is what I feel at this point, right? I'm not necessarily saying that is what's going to happen, but if you were to ask me, it seems like that is the case. And unfortunately, that would suck if that's what it is he needs to understand, you know, he is the better candidate compared to the person that's out there, and that it's actually worth fighting for if he decides to do so. But of course, he has to fight first to enable to get to that position. And unfortunately, he is in a position now where he still can't fight and he's still not going to fight. But he's going to keep showing up, right? He's going to at least try to do something. He's going to at least try to add somewhat of a comfort, seeing how he is the strongest out of all of them. And as of right now, the white haired guy only knows that they have two candidates on their side, not anymore. So they still have a nice little advantage when it comes down to applying pressure upon him, three against one, and someone practically using a red arrow from the shadows could be the way to catch him, in my opinion. So I am curious to see how that's all going to end up because at this point they really haven't pushed any true narrative of how accurate or how this girl's going to react in a combat situation. So that is still very much in the air because we already know how our main dude reacts now that he can, sometimes push forward for the greater good of everybody and actually try to defeat some people. But regardless, it still feels like we have so much more to learn about other candidates. And correct me if I'm wrong, there's not a lot left after so many got killed in the first act of the show, which kind of also comes back to the fact of the weird push for everything to happen in this show, and then after it pops off, these moments now of not even learning anything about any candidates is kind of really dry, where we're just learning more about these characters who we already know should be understanding what position they are in. They've already tried to attempt to attack the police guy, so now they've also ended up on a list where he actually wants them dead, and not just every single candidate, but they're more of a focus than not. So they put that on themselves, and I am curious now to see how that's going to really play out at the end of the day, because overall, Phantom End is definitely interesting, but like I've been seeing a lot of people say from way back when, and now I'm watching it and seeing the story develop myself, it definitely has some weird parts that I am not fully agreeing with, and I'll just have to see at the end of the day what it turns out to be. So, with that being said, hope you'll have an amazing one, and I'll definitely talk to you sooner than later. I am your boy, the Anime G. Thank you so much for the support overall this time. I hope you have a good Thanksgiving if you don't celebrate it. Have a good day regardless. Take care. And peace.